Oh my god, this is going to be painful. Alright, let's do this. Hey guys, my name is Stephanie Brown and you're watching Creative Guzzle. Tonight's drink is sake with ramune. I have absolutely no idea how this is gonna take. It's probably just gonna taste like strawberry sake, but we'll find out. I've actually never opened one of these on my own before, so I understand they're complicated. Wait. Does this come out? Oh, okay. This is a tutorial on how to open ramune. Oh! So we're gonna put a little bit of this and a little bit of this. Kanpai! That's actually not bad. So when I was purging papers from my room a couple weeks ago, I came across some old writing of mine from Legend of the Orbs. And when I mean old, I mean 9 to 10 years ago. This is from back when I was still writing Legend of the Orbs as a novel as opposed to a screenplay like I am now. And I started reading through like the first paragraph or two and thought it would be funny to read the whole thing to you guys. Small disclaimer before I start, like I said, this is very, very old. And a lot of the story has changed since this was written. So this is a prologue, and I think the only thing that the character in the prologue, Vagvar, has in common with his current rendition is his name and the fact that he's the main villain. And that's it. One more drink first. Alright. Here we go. In a tall, twisted tower, Vagvar sat on his chaise chair and observed the fresh beauties of his new harem. He was lucky to have found such exquisite female slaves in the large supply that Garen Orbidon, a fellow lord of the Council of Evil, had to offer. Council of Evil. Vagvar had agreed to trade a few of his prize Shadow Knights in return for the pleasure of Garen's fine women. Garen was a slave breeder. That was where all of his profit came from. Vagvar had chosen only these 4, for they were so different from each other that each one could satisfy any mood he found himself in. They had obviously been told he was coming, for they had placed themselves around the room in positions they thought would impress him. His favorite sat at his feet, sending dangerously intoxicating smiles from her full lips. Her green eyes were incredibly seductive, and her clothes showed just how little she bothered to hide her generous figure. He twirled her hair between his fingers, and she came closer to him. Vagvar never worried that these slaves wouldn't obey him, for he had tampered with their minds shortly after they had been brought here. They were under the impression that he was a handsome elven prince and that he had lived in a beautiful castle that was completely opposite of what it really was. Of course, Vagvar altered his gruesome appearance just before coming, changing his black skin to a pale white. And side note here, when I say black, I mean like charcoal black, not like African American. I mean like drow black. His orange eyes to a vivid violet and added a golden tinge to his otherwise skeleton white hair. He shrunk the spikes protruding from his scalp and shortened his pointed teeth and sharpened claws. Vagvar does not look like that anymore. I like to picture Vagvar these days as Benedict Cumberbatch. The harem and the rest of the citadel was dark and demonic. Vagvar kept the harem under an illusion at all times. To his concubines, it was a beautiful white marbled room filled with brilliant flowers and a fountain off to the side. I don't know why I put the fountain. But to Vagvar and his Shadow Knights, it was very much the opposite. I used the same description earlier. The whole room was dim, lit only by a single bright light from the ceiling. The drapes were a blood red, and the carpeted floor was a puzzle of black and white that made one's eyes sore. The walls were of an ebony marble substance, formed into twisted figures around the edge of the tall ceiling. All of the furniture was velvet black. I'm pretty sure I stole this description from one of my favorite series, the Obsidian Trilogy by Mercedes Lackey and James Mallory, which you should read. It's pretty good. He summoned his favorite up onto his lap where she played with his shirt. Vegvar leaned his head back inside. He was very tense today. The past leaves haunting shadows in the mind, he thought to himself. What? The past leaves haunting shadows in the mind, he thought to himself. Today was a sort of anniversary for him, the day 100 years ago that he had first used his menacing magic for evil. He had destroyed so many lives that day. Chapter break. Vegvar blinked, his eyes clouded over with a red haze. He shoved his concubine off his lap and she tumbled onto the floor, eyes wide in fright. Vegvar got up and stormed out of the harem and down the tower stairs, the walls rattling in his anger. He wanted to kill something, destroy it. Those memories were awful and he needed to relieve his rage. The first thing he saw was one of his Shadow Knights. Vegvar sneered and raised his hands. Fire sprung from them, forming a blazing ball. He thrust it at the knight. Man could only utter a cry of surprise before he was destroyed. Vegvar felt better almost instantly. Let it out, just let it out, man. He let out a calming breath and turned on his heel. He went back up the stairs where he could relax. Once up there, he would shut down his mind. No more thinking for tonight. Vegvar smirked as he remembered his plan of revenge against the world. The orbs would be his soon. It was only a matter of time. Soon. Very soon. So, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. The first couple paragraphs were not good, but the flashback part of Vegvar as a young kid is actually still kind of relevant, and that's part of why he is the way he is. So I guess it hasn't changed that much. Let's have some more of this. Oops. So what do you think of my old writing from 10 years ago? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button that's right down here. You can also check out more of my videos by clicking right over here. And please don't forget to subscribe for new videos every Friday. Excuse me. Oh, there's another one. Excuse me. Carbonation. I believe that everybody has a story to tell. I want to tell you mine. Oh my god. I want to tell you mine and I want to help you tell yours. Bye!